Hello everyone, this is Hadrian. Thank you for watching. 6 months have passed, give or take a week, since the beginning of Against All Odds in the Long Dark. The popularity of this series with you guys was so palpable to me, and the desire to continue the series after my first death in some form was so strong that I have decided to make Against All Odds a regularly repeating series. That means that for the first time on my channel, every 6 months, this series will return for another season. And it's time for Season 2. As usual, though, the rest of this video is just a bit of an introduction to how I will be approaching Season 2 differently from Season 1, as well as what the Long Dark is and how the series will go for anyone who doesn't know, who maybe didn't watch the first one. So if you'd rather jump straight into gameplay, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next video. Let me start the introduction by talking to the new people. If you're new to the channel, or if you've just never watched Against All Odds' first run, especially if you jumped in while I was featuring Master Orion primarily in my 6 p.m. slot, and now you're trying to decide if this is worth watching. Let me tell you what's up. I'm going to be playing The Long Dark by Hinterland Studios. This is one of the best games I've ever played. If you've never tried it, you have to. The premise is that you are the lone survivor of a plane crash after a cataclysmic geomagnetic disaster. And where else would the plane crash but the frozen North Canadian wilderness? And this is a survival game, in which the objective is literally try not to die. There are no zombies. There are no aliens. There are no monsters, aside from wolves, aside from bears, aside from deranged killer bunny rabbits. That's a joke. There's nothing terribly far-fetched about The Long Dark, which is what makes the game so incredibly gripping. The objective is to survive completely and totally alone as long as possible against the cold, against hunger, against thirst, against predators, and against the farthest human limits of adversity and exhaustion, to push those as far as you can. You're about to be thrust into a gripping survival tale that is unparalleled in today's gaming universe, and I mean every word of that. I remarked on Twitter recently that I am well aware that I heap a lot of praise onto the men and women at Hinterland Studios, and it's with such good reason. This is truly one of my favorite games ever. These developers were also the first to welcome my making content in their game with open arms. Many developers are open to Let's Plays, but few, if any, are this personable, supportive, and engaged in their community, and they've created a masterpiece. It's one of the most well-reviewed games, let alone early access games, ever to hit Steam. So just like I did with Season 1, I'm going to start a new sandbox game on Stalker difficulty, which for you newbies is the highest difficulty. And I'm going to try to survive as long as possible before a bear decides to make dinner of me or before something else goes horribly wrong. So that's what we're in for. Let me just talk a bit now about how Season 2 is going to work for those of you who have seen Season 1. First of all, like any show with more than one season, Season 2 is going to assume that you've seen Season 1. I'm not saying you have to go back and watch it. You don't. I think there'll be plenty to be enjoyed if you jump into the series for the first time right here, right now. But you should know I'm not just going to magically pretend to be exploring new areas like it's my first time. There are some new things to do, true, in some of the original areas, but to give you an example of what I mean here, I know the way to Timberwolf Mountain now. I'm not going to act like I don't. In fact, finding it is part of what killed me last time. So you can be sure that I'm going to use the knowledge that I gained before. So this is very much going to be a spiritual successor to my first series in The Long Dark, and I do think that my subscribers who were here for that original run will definitely get the most out of this series. I'm going to be commentating as if talking to someone who has watched everything, so don't let that throw you if you're new. Second, we do, indeed, have new content. I am recording this series after the Tireless Menace update. Frankly, I wish I could have started recording it sooner after the update. The game is prettier. It's got a new UI. They added, and by UI I mean user interface, they added challenge modes, which aren't part of the sandbox, but they're a great new addition to the game's foundation. There are new climbable spots all over the place, including in Mystery Lake and some of the original zones of the game. There are new animal behaviors, new bear models and textures, a new resource-based approach to rest, and a bunch of exploits have been fixed. The list goes on, and the point is, there's lots of new content for me to explore, so you'll definitely still see me navigating my way through those, hopefully in an entertaining way, and hopefully we won't run into many bugs or glitches. Hey, the game is early access after all. Cut them some slack. Third, we're going to be starting in Mystery Lake because, let's face it, it's best to get the most familiar part of the map out of the way first, and we're going to play as the female survivor once again. I toyed with switching to the male character for the new season, but the truth is, I don't think it would be Against All Odds without Jennifer Hale. No offense to the amazing Mark Meer, but this game's got some great voice talent, and I think I made so many jokes about Jennifer Hale's little quips while I was playing Against All Odds Season 1. It wouldn't feel right to do a continuation of the series in any way and not play as the same character. Besides, I'm more of a FemShep guy anyway. So that's it. Season 2 is just seconds away. Thanks for watching the introduction. Like I usually do, I will record 20-minute episodes and release them daily at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is GMT-4 for those of you not in the States. If you're looking forward to following along, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, if you're not subscribed already. You're welcome to comment whenever the mood hits you as well. I'd love to hear from you. It's time. I'll see you in the first episode.